Welcome to Redefine Travel, your source for traveling ideas. Top 15 cities in the world you should visit in 2022. Every year, we look at the best places to visit in the coming year. Right now, it might seem inconceivable to think about traveling abroad, due to the global pandemic and travel restrictions that have closed the borders of many countries. But here's the good news. Things are looking up for 2021. While many places around the world remain off limits, more and more countries are beginning to open their doors. And they're doing it with health and safety protocols in place, which bodes well for Americans who want to travel in 2022. Airlines and hotels are also doing their part to implement procedures that allow people to travel safely and confidently. So without further ado, let's talk about the top 15 cities you should visit in 2022. 15. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Beaches, tropical weather, all-night music, and hundreds of years of fascinating history make the Dominican Republic's capital an exiting destination. You can laze around on tropical beaches in Boca Chica, tour some of the oldest churches in the Americas in the Zona Colonial, or shop for luxury clothing or jewelry on the Avenida Winston Churchill. Buy gorgeous Larimar jewels, dance and down cocktails at Sabina Bar, or just savor delicious Dominican food at local restaurants like Mizan de Bari. Whether you need to soak up some sunshine, satisfy your hunger for historical knowledge, or just want to dive into an energetic, exciting Latin American metropolis, Santo Domingo is a great place to visit. 14. Amsterdam, Netherlands. The city of Amsterdam has numerous parks, bike paths, places to eat, historical sites, and host to a wide array of outdoor gathering and events organized by the city recreation department. You will also find over 50 different local eateries where you can find something to eat. Food ranges from some of the best family-owned restaurants in upstate NY, including family-owned delis and cafes, some of the best pizza places in NYS, prime steak, seafood and Americana, casual dining and bars, and takeout and fast food restaurants. 13. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is the second major city in Brazil and was its capital from 1763 to 1960, when Brasilia was created. The city was founded by Portuguese colonists in the mid-1500s and became the port for the shipment of gold from the inland mining areas. Throughout its history, Rio has seemed aware of its physical assets. The soaring mountains behind it, Sugarloaf towering above its harbor, and its long crescent beaches that are its prime tourist attractions, and has enhanced that landscape. With distinguished buildings from each era of its history and with a generous supply of urban parks and open spaces. 12. Toronto, Canada. Bright and bustling. Toronto is a cosmopolitan city whose residents have roots across the globe. Art, food, beaches, nightlife in Toronto, you've got it all. With residents from around the world and scores of languages. Foods, customs and celebrations, they're what make the city great. As Canada's largest city, Toronto has outstanding museums and galleries. From the Frank Gehry redesigned Art Gallery of Ontario to the delightful Bata Shoe Museum. The same goes for theaters. The gorgeous Elgin and Winter Garden Theatre has backstage tours as well as regular shows, and Shakespeare in High Park channels the Bard every summer. 11. Cartagena, Colombia. There is an incredibly long list of fun things to do in Cartagena. The Jewel of the Indies features beautiful beaches, a stunningly colorful walled city filled with incredible Spanish colonial architecture, amazing world-class cuisine, and interesting history. It showcases such an intriguing juxtaposition of ancient and modern throughout the city. Cartagena was the backdrop to movies such as Romancing the Stone. It also was featured in Love in the Time of Cholera by Nobel Prize-winning Colombian novelist Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It has a romantic allure and mystique. 10. Berlin, Germany. Experiencing the vibe of Berlin proves that if the 20th century could crown a capital, it would be Berlin. As you wander among the top tourist attractions in Berlin, it's obvious that no city had such a profound impact on modern world history as Germany's capital. From digging up Nazi secrets in East Berlin to reigniting your inner Cold War kid while driving in a Trabi, figuring out what to do in Berlin is always fascinating. Whether you're a history buff, culture lover, art enthusiast, or aimless wanderer, The top places to see in Berlin will check all the boxes. 9. Cairo, Egypt. For millennia, travelers the world over have been fascinated by Egypt. The country's monuments were ancient even in the days of Herodotus the Greek, who journeyed to Egypt to see the pyramids and other great temples of the pharaohs. Today, Egypt's rich history has created a tapestry of cultural and archaeological treasures unmatched anywhere in the world. Filled with awe-inspiring monuments of ancient civilization as well as some of the best preserved. Luxor is considered the world's largest open-air museum and home to 1/3 of the world's antiquities, making it one of the main tourist attractions in Egypt. Cairo, Egypt's capital, is a destination in itself. A bustling and crowded metropolis full of intriguing contrasts, old and new. Western and Oriental, modern hotels next to traditional bazaars and coffee shops, 5,000-year-old pyramids and 19th-century palaces. The Egyptian Museum of Antiquities houses the world's greatest collection of pharaonic treasure, including 12 rooms filled with the golden treasures of the boy King Tutankhamun. Travelers can also visit a host of beautiful mosques and churches that reflect Egypt's rich cultural heritage. 8. Rome, Italy. A heady mix of haunting ruins, awe-inspiring art and vibrant street life. Italy's hot-blooded capital is one of the world's most romantic and charismatic cities. The result of 3,000 years of ad hoc urban development, Rome's cityscape is an exhilarating sight. Ancient icons such as the Colosseum, Roman Forum and Pantheon recall the city's golden age as Caput Mundi, while monumental basilicas tell of its history as seat of the Catholic Church. Lording it over the skyline, St. Peter's Basilica towers over the Vatican, testifying to the ambition of Rome's Renaissance popes and the genius of its game-changing architects. Elsewhere, ornate piazzas and showy fountains add a Baroque flourish to the city's captivating streets. A trip to Rome is as much about lapping up the Dolce Vita lifestyle as gorging on art and culture. Idling around picturesque streets, whiling away hours at streetside cafes, people watching on pretty piazzas. These are all central to the Roman experience. The tempo rises in the evening when fashionable drinkers descend on the city's bars and cafes for a sociable aperitivo and trattorias hum with activity. Elsewhere, cheerful hordes mill around popular haunts before heading off to hip cocktail bars and late-night clubs. 7. Las Vegas, USA. Las Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. A true theme park for grown-ups that never disappoints. Las Vegas is also one of the most visited cities in the world, as well as being the city which has grown the most over the 20th century. Immediately on stepping off the plane, you will know you are in a unique place. Walking through the airport, decorated with thousands of slot machines, you realize just why it is known as America's Playground. With its amazing themed hotels and incredible shows, you will believe you are on holiday in a parallel world. David Copperfield, Madonna, Elton John, and many other artists will make sure you have a perfect trip. 6. Accra, Ghana. In Accra, people pride themselves on their hospitality. If you stand anywhere too long, and we mean anywhere, gas stations, street corners, in front of someone's heavily fortified, barbed wire-topped gate, someone will offer you a seat, or some shade, or tell you you're invited to their meal. People, and especially school children in pristine uniforms, will want to say, "Good morning," or perform a full-on salute. Definitely, it's a very charming city to visit. 5. Barcelona, Spain. Located on the Mediterranean coast, Barcelona is one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. This cosmopolitan city is also one of Spain's most important economic, cultural and commercial hubs, attracting both leisure and business tourism from all over the globe. Every year, thousands of tourists visit Barcelona to discover its uniqueness or attend numerous conferences, committees and other types of meetings. Barcelona is brimming with culture. It has numerous renowned museums like the Fundació Joan Miró or the Museu Picasso. But you'll appreciate the city's love for art by simply strolling through its streets filled with history and charm. Barcelona had the enormous fortune of falling into the hands of Antonio Gaudí, an artist who dedicated his years to filling the city with life and magic through iconic works of architecture such as the famous Sagrada Familia, the beautiful modernist building of La Pedrera, and the amazing Parc Güell. Apart from its museums and monuments, Barcelona is not only art. but also has a more relaxed side shown in the form of sunny beaches that combine perfectly with a delicious gastronomy. Details that make the city a real paradise for all kinds of visitors to the city. 4. Dubai, UAE. Any reason to find yourself in Dubai is a good one. The city, which is constantly growing, is outward-looking and eager to show the rest of the world the delights of the Arab culture. A huge range of great activities and entertainment is provided for all ages. Dubai has its sights set on becoming one of the most important tourist destinations in the world, and therefore is constantly expanding and developing its oasis of civilization in the middle of the desert. In 2018, Dubai was the fourth most visited city in the world, with almost 16 million international visitors. That number is expected to reach 20 million by 2020. 3. Paris, France. The capital of France seems to have been designed specifically for the enjoyment of its visitors. Its streets, squares, buildings, gardens and monuments beckon tourists to return, and indeed, many do. Some of the most memorable things to do in Paris include visiting the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe and Notre Dame Cathedral. During the evening, experiencing one of the legendary Moulin Rouge cabaret shows. Strolling through some of the most picturesque neighborhoods, like Montmartre, or climbing the Montparnasse Tower are a must. It is always a good time to visit Paris. Depending on where you fly from, you can either make the most of the low-cost airlines flying into the city from other European cities, or take one of its direct flights from further away destinations. 2. London, England. One of the world's most visited cities. London has something for everyone, from history and culture to fine food and good times. Immersed in history, London's rich seams of eye-opening antiquity are everywhere. The city's buildings are striking milestones in a unique and beguiling biography, and a great many of them, the Tower of London, Westminster Abbey, Big Ben, are instantly recognizable landmarks. There's more than enough innovation to put a crackle in the air, but it never drowns out London's seasoned, centuries-old narrative. Architectural grandeur rises up all around you in the West End. Ancient remains dot the city and charming pubs punctuate the historic quarters, leafy suburbs and river banks. 1. New York, USA. New York, also known as the Big Apple, is a city which offers infinite things to do and places to see. The city of skyscrapers has starred in films and novels that have made it a dream destination for many. New York has become in recent years, and due to its own excellence, the world's most important economic and cultural capital. The city's atmosphere and style of life are unique, difficult to explain in a guide, and they are best discovered by visiting and enjoying it in person. Going to a musical in Broadway, spending an evening in Times Square, walking over Brooklyn Bridge, enjoying some shopping in Fifth Avenue, or feeling like a broker in Wall Street, are some of the things that can only be done in New York City. Over the past few years, tourism in New York has increased dramatically. The price of flights and the value of the dollar have been decisive factors in New York's becoming one of the world's most visited places as a tourist destination. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.